Okay, so this week's Bloonarius or Elite Bloonarius, I was gonna say this week's Bloonarius Prime, but that's the map. That's not the thing that's happening, right? So this week's Elite Bloonarius is on, I guess it's map. It's on the Bloonarius Prime map, and it was an interesting one. I gotta say, it was a little bit different. While the end game is always the same, right? You have to go for these super powerful, VDSG and tier fives and overclocked, ultra boosted stuff. But the early game is a little bit different, and I bought some towers that I hadn't been using in the previous round. So let's walk you guys through everything. So I'm starting off with my favorite combination. I think this is the 000 dart. So it's the free dart. We don't have to spend any money, and we're going straight into Ben. Now something that I like doing is having this guy or microing this guy between first and last and using Ben's ability to save as many lives as possible. Although we have 250, which was done on purpose, and we're going to be using them as much as possible. So I'm going for farms currently. I'm going for a 200 farm, which is going to be in the top left side. And the difference here is that, usually we would sacrifice, I think, 6 farms to the Monkeyopolis. This one is going to be a little bit weaker because there's not that much space. So it's only going to be 5 420s, which are going to get sacrificed later on, but we'll get to that eventually. So keeping this guy as a 002, so I upgraded its range and then went for a 003. So now this is something that I don't think I would have done, or actually I would have done on previous guides. I'm not sure. But because of this map is an intermediate one and it's basically a little bit different the way it works than other maps, we have to buy our defenses a little bit earlier, and that kind of messes up with farming, as you guys would expect. So getting our second farm, this is going to be the second 200 farm, and we are gonna, as you guys just saw, I microed this guy on last, and having him on last is very nice, I think, because he's able to shoot down these straight lines, so you're maximizing the pierce and you're not losing that many lives. So make sure to do that if you know you want to save some lives. So having him on last doing the 103, that was just the I guess the value upgrade, which honestly I didn't want to go for 023 because I really wanted to farm, but you can go for 023, it doesn't really matter. So upgrading the top farm to 300, and at this point I'm not buying the banana farmer because I wanted to buy the third farm because we have to position him in a way that we still need to leave space for the village, right? So you'll see in a second what I'm talking about. But getting the second farm to 300, and at this point I think I'm gonna buy the third one. So this is gonna be the third farm, and basically just microing this guy, trying to use Ben's ability and trying not to leak a lot of lives. We are gonna leak some lives, but trying not to leak too many. So getting the farmer and then getting the 102 village, which is going to give us a little bit of a discount. And it's kind of unfortunate then when I bought the fifth farm, I wasn't able to fit it inside of the village's range, so we didn't get to use the discount that much, but it is what it is. So next up, we have Elite Bloons on 28. We're getting the 002 boomerang, and the Dark Monkey is a 023. The farm, the new one, the third one, is at 200, and the village is at 102 for now. So keeping these towers the same, getting the farm to 300. Obviously we're losing a lot of lives, but that is totally fine. We're gonna lose even more, just to tell you guys. Getting the new farm, this one is under the village. I was able to fit this one obviously under the village, but I wasn't able to get the next one. Then the discount is very nice. You get like a $500 discount. And after this I got the heli. So this is the first tower that's kind of different that we didn't see in the previous rounds. I just locked them in place right there. And the heli is a very useful tower in this map, especially because obviously when the balloons switch tracks, it's going to be able to follow them without you guys doing anything, and that's obviously very, very useful. So we got the fifth farm. That's in total of 5 farms that are 300, and I'm starting to buy farms on the right bottom side. Now this map is kind of weird for farming because the space isn't, it's not like we have this flat huge surface in which we're gonna place our 8 farms and we're gonna buy our Monkeyopolis and win like at around 100, but it is what it is. So starting to farm on the bottom right side, getting I think I'm gonna get in total 3 new 300 farms, and then one of them is gonna be a 100. And also don't forget about the normal balloons, like micro your heli, do this thing. If you guys want to, you can upgrade him to 200 so you can get the pursuit, but I would just recommend microing him manually and just saving the money and putting that money to farms. So this is gonna be farm number 8. This one is gonna go to 300 as well. And then I'm gonna greed out a little bit. Like I should, well, it turned out fine, but you know, this is pure greed. This 200, and I'm even gonna sell it in a couple of rounds. But you know, it is what it is. So Bloonarius number 1, we're gonna be getting the Tack Zone. I am starting to like the Tack Zone a lot, but something that I'm gonna mention is I just bought the Tack Shooter, as you guys saw. Do not upgrade this guy to 204. Keep him as 203 until you get the defenses to deal with the ceramics. So tier 1 Bloonarius, Elite Bloonarius that is, releases ceramic balloons, and so unless you have the defenses to deal with those ceramic balloons, you should not be upgrading the Tack Shooter more than 203. So keep him at 203. So now I'm buying the guys on the right side. So I bought the 204 bomb shooter, I bought the 402 boomerang, and now I'm going to go into upgrading my Tack Shooter to 205. So 204, 205, this guy's gonna shred. And so an interesting thing about this map while we're waiting for the Bloonarius to pass is that, you know, a lot of people thought that this little rock that's next to the top village, people thought that, you know, it was bugged, because I think when the Spike Factory was shooting spikes, it was getting that part as well, and people thought, you know, this map is bugged. But the thing is, this is a special path that Bloonarius is the only balloon in the game that takes. So as you guys can see, he's going on the top side. That's not how the map works, but this was, I guess, pre-planned for Bloonarius. So they actually wanted to do this. And so when we get the Tack Zone, I just dropped the 310 Alchemist. This thing is just destroying it. And there we go, that's tier 1. Simple as that. Now, what I just did is I sold my Tack Zone and I sold the Alchemist. And the reason is, we usually don't want to be doing this kind of stuff. We don't want to be spending that much money on defending. We want to be spending the money on farming. And so that's why I just sold the strongest tower that I had, and I bought a 420 farm. And then remember that guy, the 200 that I greeted at like around 40? Yeah, I sold that one too, and I sold one of the 300 farms on the right, and I'm just gonna keep selling them, and I'm gonna keep upgrading these farms at the top to 420. Now that's our main goal. We are working towards 420 farms at around 60. So that's all I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna sell the farms on the right, I'm gonna buy 420 farms on the top, and I'm gonna see you guys in about 5 rounds. Okay, so as you guys can see, I've sold all my farms on the right, and I've upgraded all the farms on the top to 420. Now something that we are going to do differently on level 2 Bloonarius or tier 2 Bloonarius is that we are going to be getting the mat, but we're also going to be getting one more, and that's a new tower, and that's a very cool tower that's gonna deal with the PFBs that are actually coming out of this guy. So first off, we need to do 2 things. The first thing is you get a 042 Darting Gunner, which is going to get upgraded to the mat, but not immediately. See, this guy is very important because our defenses suck. Like, we are 60s and our defenses are very bad. So you guys are kind of going to need to do this in a few seconds, which is use his ability around 64. Now this is very important because we cannot deal with normal balloons. And I'm not sure if you guys caught it, but I upgraded to Monkeyopolis, so we have this amazing farm going, and now we're saving up for the mat. So make sure to always, you know, take care of these normal balloons, micro the Darting Gunner, and make sure to use his ability so that we don't leak. Our Moab popping power is very bad. We only have, well, we don't have anything actually. It's him. But there we go, we got the mat, and now I'm upgrading the mortar, which is a new tower that we haven't used before, and it's an amazing tower, but the thing is, it's very expensive, and I really wouldn't want to spend this much money. I mean, in previous Bloonarius guides, I used to just beat this one with like 204 bomb shooters and you know, on 402 boomerangs, but we actually have to do this because he is kind of, you know, we're kind of sacrificing. Our farming is going slow and things like that, so we have to spend more money basically on defending. I upgraded the Alchemist that is on the left side of the mortar, so that guy is at 420. So we have a 520 mortar, we have the mat, and that is just it, micro the mortar. Oh, and look at the top side. So after I upgraded to Monkeyopolis, don't forget to farm. So that is a 420 farm that you guys are looking at. So this is the tier 2 Elite Bloonarius. This thing is just getting shredded by the mat. The mat is like the best tower, so I guess the Tack Zone is the best tower for tier 1 Bloonarius, and then the mat is the best one for tier 2, although the Tack Zone does particularly well actually. So, because we're behind on farming, we sold the Tack Zone previously to buy more farms, and now I'm doing the same thing with the mortar. I got rid of the mortar and I bought a 520 farm. I bought a 320 first, but I should have went straight for a 025. It doesn't matter. So here on the right side, that's a 024 that is soon to become a 025 when we get $60,000. So something that I need to kind of amplify about these next upcoming rounds is that our defenses suck, but they suck more than the last time. So we only have this guy, the Mad, which is amazing versus Moab class Bloons, but he's very bad versus everything else. And our defenses versus everything else is, well, not that great. So let me just quickly mention that I'm just buying farms. I'm buying 420 farms, but you guys need to be careful on rounds 76 and 78, so these ceramic waves. So like this, you have to use the ability on these rounds. I'm not sure if you're gonna survive if you don't use them. I don't think you will, so just use the abilities until we get some better defenses. And after this, I promise, we're gonna get the tempo and the VTSG, and we won't have to worry about normal Bloons anymore. So buying more farms, I have a total of, this is number 7, so this is 7 in total for 420s, and I'm gonna buy 3 more. So this is where we start farming like crazy, and this is basically something that I don't think we would have been forced to do. I think we would have been able to get away with less farming of some other Bloonariuses. And as you guys can see, like, this guy's out and I'm still buying farms. So a total of, what is it, 10 420 farms. We have the Monkeyopolis, we have one 520 farm, and we have a 025. And something that I did is I sold the Dart Monkey that we started with, and I bought a 031 ice tower. We are placing our temple on the water. That's very important for later on. And no, I'm not gonna forget this time. Some people might know what I'm talking about, but for those of you that don't, you're gonna see in a second. So we're going for, the temple. So we're buying the upgrades, or the sacrifices rather. So I bought the 50 eyes, the absolute 0. I bought the glaive lord. We have the mat for the military sacrifices, and I bought the perma-brew for the magic sacrifices. And before sacrificing, do not forget, I just bought the range here, by the way, because I wasn't sure that the mat is in the range of the sun avatar. I wasn't sure if he was gonna get sacrificed. So yeah, be careful with that. And also, don't forget to sell the village before you sacrifice. I'm saying this all the time, but don't forget to do it. So we got the temple. This is a max temple, and getting the usual stuff. So getting the perma-brew. I'm gonna rebuy the mat. I got the village. It's a 230, which is gonna become a 250 in a second. And there we go. That's basically how you beat tier 3 Elite Bloonarius. This thing is gonna melt, although don't forget to use the ability. So click your buttons, click your darting arm ability, click your homeland ability, and that's basically it. Now something cool that I'm doing right here, and that actually helped later on, is I'm getting the perma spike. This is a 025 perma spike buffed by a 420. Actually, I think it's a 410 or a 400 alchemist. I'm not sure, but we're getting that thing going, and I think this saved us a little bit. I'm not actually sure. I think it saved us, or was it the first run that I did? I don't remember. So that's about it for our defenses, and I'm just gonna be buying. So I'm going with the sniper on strong. This thing obviously amplifies the damage that Moab class Bloons take. Getting the 502 sniper on strong, and I got the super brittle ice. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. And this thing, just look at the HP, it's just getting melted. Okay, so right as tier 3 Bloonarius popped, I just sold all of the things on the right side. So we had a 204 bomb shooter, I sold the super brittle, and what was there? There was a heli, and I think it was a boomerang. So we just sold those. We don't need them, they're not doing anything. We need the money more than we need their DPS. And we're actually gonna rebuy the super brittle later on. That's obviously, we needed to sell them anyways, that's what I'm trying to say. We are getting ready for the VTSG. So I found 2 spots. You can see in the bottom left corner I bought the 050, and then in the top middle I bought the 005 super monkey, and we're just getting ready for the VTSG and saving some money. This guy has 8 million HP, tier 4 Bloonarius, but we're gonna take him down pretty easy, and I think this is the one where the perma spike is gonna actually help out a little bit. Because we don't have the money, we are kind of off. In previous Bloonarius, guys, I would have already had the VTSG, I think, by this point. with all the farms going and everything like that, but it's just a little bit slower, guys. It's definitely a little bit more. You can feel that this one is difficult than the previous ones, right? For sure. So, you know, we have the money now, 600,000. I'm gonna buy the VTSG, and after that, don't forget. I think I forgot to buy the range in one of my guides, so just don't forget to buy the range. I didn't. I bought it now. And just getting the buffs going on this guy. So the perma brew, the village, I'm rebuying the mat, an amazing tower, and just clicking our buttons. We're getting the sniper again, so 5 on 2 on strong, getting the super brittle again, 501. Make sure to be selling the super brittle and rebuying him along the Bloonarius track. And I also got the 250 glue, which you should be using the ability. That thing works on Moab class balloons. Now, something that a lot of you mentioned, and I forgot to do it the previous 2 times, and you're gonna see it right now, and that is we're gonna be buying the carrier flagship. And the thing is, this thing is able to buff the temple. So if you guys don't know, the carrier flagship buffs water towers and the aces by giving them a little bit of attack speed. And so what we did, if you guys remember, we placed the temple on the water. So we bought an ice tower and then we placed the temple on the ice tower. So it's technically considered the water tower now, and it gets buffed. It gets about an 18% attack speed buff, so that's amazing. So make sure to get this thing and do it, you know, the way that I did it, to place it on the ice tower, and then you know, you have the VTSG count as a water tower, right? So there we go. I bought the 025 Dark Monkey on the left platform of the carrier flagship, and that's where the first Paragon is gonna go. And now I'm just, you know, buying the 042 darts. I also bought the Ultra Boost, and I'm clicking that on the VTSG. And I also bought the 500 sub, which reduces the cooldowns everywhere. So I'm just gonna keep buying these 042 darts. Nothing to see in the next 5 rounds, and I'm gonna be back when tier 5 Bloonarius spawns. Okay, tier 5 Bloonarius. So I hope you guys have been ultra boosting your VTSG, because that's obviously the thing that you have to do. Click the abilities when this guy appears. We need to be clicking our abilities together, obviously, and then just keep buying, you know, the 042 Dark Monkeys and keep them coming. I'm going to be upgrading my my dart to the Paragon, so the one that was on the platform that I just mentioned of the carrier flagship. We're going to be getting that guy to the Paragon, and that is the next thing. We got degree 40, which is I think the highest that I've gotten on these guides. And don't forget to keep moving your super brittle along the track. So there is a huge mess on the screen, as you guys can see, but the HP is going down fast. But also we need to get ready for the next Paragon, which is the Boomerang Paragon, and I'm buying him here on the right side, and that is because this thing is gonna get close, and we're actually gonna sell the Dart Paragon later on. This thing is gonna get close. This thing is no joke, guys. So this guy's gonna go on the right side because that's where he's gonna be able to do the DPS. I mean, their range is not spectacular, so you know, it is what it is. So I'm getting ready for the Boomerang Paragon, buying, you know, these 042 boomerangs, and I'm just sacrificing them. I'm selling the farms. I got degree 15 on it, which is totally fine. And now for the rest of the game, we're just going to be clicking our abilities. We're going to be moving our super brittle, and even though I think it looks very bad on your screen, but it was fine for me. I'm not sure what's happening, but I guess this is, you know, the huge lag that a lot of people keep seeing on these Elite Bloonarius, and I know that a lot of people can't even beat them because they're getting like 3 FPS. You know, the gameplay was fine for me, but the recording is, you know, it's not good. So this is essentially what's happening, and here is something that I forgot to mention, and I forgot to buy. And you know, when Elite Bloonarius was at like 60% HP or at least 50% HP, I remembered, you know, hey, I could have bought a support temple, and that's what I'm doing now. I bought a support temple because I forgot to do it, but definitely you guys should definitely do it, you know, maybe after the first Dart Paragon. Just go for this. This thing is insane. It helps out a lot. And we kind of missed out on a lot of DPS. I think this could have ended like maybe a round or 2 rounds, maybe even 3 rounds earlier if I had bought the support temple a little bit earlier than this. But we get it anyway, so it's totally fine. And basically what I'm doing towards the end is I sold my Dark Paragon, which was on the carrier flagship, and the reason why I did that was because that guy was not able to do damage to Bloonarius anymore, so we just don't need him anymore. And I bought these towers like the Apache Prime, I bought the 205 Ace, I bought the Super Mines, as you guys can maybe see them on the right, and at this point I'm just clicking all the abilities, and that is gonna be it. So that is this week's Elite Bloonarius guide. It was a fun one, and it was definitely harder than the last ones, but still beatable, still very manageable. So hope you guys get this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.